Assalamualaikum and hi, we are Group 4. We'll be presenting our group project. The title of the project is the study of expansive laterite soil for construction and its ground improvement method. My name is Intan Nursyah Zwani binti Makmar Kadapi, metric number DF180034. I will be presenting the introduction. First is background of study. The study focused on expansive of laterite soil. Expansive soils are expanding when the moisture content of the soils is increased and cause the soil to dry. Then, laterite soil is categorized as a problematic soil. It is a severely weathered material which is rich in both iron and aluminium oxides, which means that it has a collapsible behavior. This behavior can lead to cracks and fractures in structures, also able to lessening the safety of the structures. Next is problem statement. In general, to build a building, the ground must be stable to support the structure. If the ground under a building is problematic, then the foundation may fracture, sink, or even collapse. The building materials should strive to provide the highest degree of climatic comfort. Then, expensive soils are quite challenging when used for various earthwork and engineering constructions. The structure might be good and stable at first, but in the meantime, some defects might happen, or it could be collapsed. Besides that, expansive soils do massive quantities of disruption. Some laterite materials are acknowledged to be either poor pavement aggregates. This behavior has been found as the existence of clay and silt, which reacts negatively to changes in water content. The objectives of this study are to determine the problematic soils that occur at construction field, to study the properties of expansive laterite soil for construction field, and to identify the method of ground improvement for expansive laterite soil for construction. The importance of this study is to identify the appropriate method when working with problematic soils. This study will help civil engineers to be more concerned and aware about the characteristic of soil. It is also help to enhance the shear strength of the ground to guarantee adequate foundation bearing capacity and slope stability, so the structure that will be built on it will be more stable for a longer time.
Next, my name is Tumfahana binti Ali with metric numbers DF180009 that will present about the literature review. Okay, here is the example of the laterite soils. Okay, it is rich in irons and aluminium that are formed in tropical areas. It is rusty red in color because of presence of iron oxides. It is known to be either inferior pavement aggregates or troublesome highway and earth dam construction materials. Next, the expansive soil is opposite to collapsible soil. In this type of soil, the volume of the soil generally increases as it comes in contact with water and shrinks when the water leaves the soil. As the volume increases, it will pressure the building or any constructed material and cause the cracks on it. If the laterite soil used for the construction, the soil becomes soft and very saturated because of already water moisture present. It will give the unsatisfactory results for the construction and must be improved and repaired before using it. Next, the need to improve strength and durability of the laterite soil is by using stabilizing materials that can be sourced locally at very low cost. The addition of cement to material will bond the material particles together. Most of strength of cement stabilized material come from physical strength of matrix of hydrated cement. The soil stabilization can be accomplished by several methods, which are mechanical and chemical stabilization.
My name is Siti Hanisa binti Mustafa Kamal Bashar, matrix number DF180029. Let's proceed with part methodology. Alright, in this methodology, we will present to you our introduction, flowchart procedure, the method for ground improvement. Alright, for introduction, expansive soil is extremely damaging to construction because it can have an adverse effect on the soil layer. Therefore, the selection method to improve laterite soil to be used in construction is essential for geotechnical engineers to choose. Okay, next flowchart. Flowchart is the procedure starting until ending of the laboratory testing to determine the behavior of the expansive soil that occur, and then we want to study the properties of expansive laterite soil and also to know the method that could improve the ground for construction. Okay, so we have to start with the literature review, which is using journals or case studies. Then we do a sampling locality, moisture content determination, particle size distribution, which is we use the sieve analysis test, and then consistency limit test, which is we determine the liquid limit and plastic limit to know the moisture content and also the behavior of the soil. And then standard proctor compression test, unconfined compressive strength test, which is known as UCT, California bearing ratio, which is CPR test, and then data collection, analysis result, discussion, and conclusion. Okay, then we proceed to the method for ground improvement. Okay, the method type is we use the stabilization using red mud, which is the waste material, and also cement red mud. And the second one is the stabilization using gypsum. These two stabilizer is the chemical technique used for the ground improvement for the problematic soil for expansive soil. The application method for the stabilization using red mud, which is waste material, and cement red mud, could increase in strength. Also, the swelling percentage as well as hydraulic conductivity decreases. For the stabilization using gypsum, the application method to reduce the effect of soil salinity, positive indication of improvement in the laterite index properties, increase in density after adequate compression have been applied.
Hello, my name is Ahmad Abidin Shakirin bin Ahmad Fadli. My metric number is CF180029. Today I will present about discussion expansive soil. Discussion of expansive soil. Expansive soil was caused by the instability of the soil. The engineer was not considering the horizontal soil during the design, so when the rotational retrogressive cell occurred, water can enter the soil during a rainy season through cracks on the soil surface caused by dry water. This water will increase the volume of the soil under the foundation, and the soil under the foundation will expand and exert pressure on it, causing the foundation to move and the entire building collapse. Reasonable or reduction of liquid limit coupled with an increase in plastic limit is a positive indication of improvement in the laterite index properties. And the laterite soil may have their advantages, like they have high clay content, which means that the fact is holding better water capacity, and it might have a large amount of iron side, but there is still problem will occur when it is laterite soil expensive. Next is some laterite material are acknowledged to be either poor movement aggregate or difficult hardware and earth dam construction material. Expensive soil retain water, rising volume during rainy season and shrinking during dry periods. Soil absorption can place strain on a building and cause damage such as crack in the base wall and splitting of floor, wall and roof and plumbing problem. Microstructures of expensive soil and the stabilized soil have emerged in the recent years. These changes are most associated with the changes to the soil microfabric, pore size and constituent. Lastly, soil stabilization technology has provided effective means of waste management and recycling through the reuse of waste material. To review the emerging trend in expensive soil stabilization, laying emphasis on some critical areas such as microstructural interaction, chemical process determining and the establishment of mechanism.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Zohaili bin Abdul Hamid. My part is conclusion. Okay, for our conclusion is method for studying change in the microstructure of expansive soil and the stabilizer soil have emerged in recent years. Okay, for the first one, geo-environmental issue could arise after soil stabilization. It is crucial for research to carry out necessary tests to ensure that the stabilization process is sustainable based on the type of additive used and illustrates some parameters which could have adverse environmental effects. Okay, for the second one, standardization issue. Is acceptable standard for applying expensive soil stabilization in the field using various additives has not been developed. If experts in the field explore the possibility of developing such standard based on experience, Available individual stabilization results are potential application of artificial intelligence techniques. Okay, for the last one, optimization issue is to achieve optimal performance when using a combination of various additives like using RSM or DA. This method has potential to substitute the traditional trial test method. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.